Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by 18-0 middleweight contender Aaron Mckenna. Aaron, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Before we get into your massive fight news, I do want to talk about your previous performance against Mikey Ellison. Obviously, you originally scheduled to fight Linus Udofia in Liverpool, but kind of you impressed against Mikey Ellison, he's won titles at light heavyweight, mate. You must have been happy with your performance.
Yeah, I was very happy with my performance against him because he was a light heavyweight and I'm a middleweight, so stepping up two weight divisions to fight someone like him who's beat a couple of prospects before, he was no easy fight. So yeah, when Udofia pulled out a few days before it, he stepped in and I never turned down a fight, and it was a great performance for me, and it was good to get it against someone who was so much bigger and heavier than me.
Definitely was, mate. Obviously, I feel like opponents pulling out of fights with you on fight week's kind of a bit of a regular occurrence at the moment for you. But obviously you had it with Shaquille Thompson before, and then you had it with Linus. Was it kind of a bit easier to kind of keep your mind focused on fight night, or was it kind of difficult to keep those kind of outside influences involved?
Yeah, it was happening a lot to me in my last few fights and throughout some of my fights at the start of my career as well. But I never let anything like that distract me. I always remain focused, and you can't take your eye off the ball in this game of boxing. You just got to focus on the fight ahead of you. So once I get the replacement opponents, that's just all I be focusing on. I don't get distracted by anything else. But yeah, I'm happy now with the tournament I'm in, the prize fighter tournament, that people won't be pulling out in it because it's such a prestigious tournament with a huge platform, and people all over the world would be tuning in for it.
Definitely, mate. Well, we'll go straight into it. Obviously, you just mentioned there you're fighting on the Matchroom Boxing's PrizeFighter tournament on March 31st in Nagoya, Japan. I mean, fair to say you're excited for this one, mate.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Really excited about it. It's a massive opportunity for me, and if I win this tournament, it's life changing. And yeah, you have everything in front of you then. But all I'm doing now is focusing on the fight I have ahead and taking one fight at a time.
Definitely, mate. Obviously, you mentioned there it's obviously it's a prestigious tournament. Obviously, kind of I was speaking to Mark Dickinson about this. Kind of the winner really is catapulted to that fringe world European kind of level there. But why was this the right opportunity for you to take at this moment in your career?
Well, I'm 18 and 0 at the minute. I'm 24 and I want the biggest fights possible. I'm ready for the biggest fights now. My goal in this game is to become world champion, and that's all I want to become, is world champion on this tournament. There's a lot of good fighters in it, a lot of undefeated fighters. So every fight in it's a good fight for me, and I'm well experienced as well as an amateur. I traveled all over the world, been in Russia 6 times, and then as a pro, I started out in America and spent 4 years over there. So I'm very experienced in that department, and I can't wait to get over to Japan, a really nice country, and I just can't wait to fight over there in front of all the Japanese people.
Definitely, mate. Obviously, the first fight in the tournament for yourself is against Jeovanny Estela. Obviously, he's fought on a couple of Matchroom boxing shows in the US, I think. But kind of, what do you know about him? Do you know much about him going into this tournament?
Yeah, I haven't really seen too much of him. I never worry about my opponents. I let them worry about me. But he's 14 and 0. He's going to be game, and this is what I want. People that's undefeated. I love fighting undefeated fighters and taking their O's, but it's going to make for a pretty good fight. And one I can't wait for. The better the opponent, the better of an outcome you see for me.
Definitely, mate, as well. I have to mention, obviously, there's two other domestic kind of middleweight rivals in the tournament. Obviously, Mark Dickinson and Kieron Conway. I mean, obviously, you're focusing on the fight in front of you, but obviously, everyone loves a domestic clash. To clash with those further down the line would be an exciting time. No, obviously, have a fight that kind of everyone would remember.
Yeah, there's some good fights to be made in the tournament, but all I'm doing right now is focusing on the first one I have ahead of me, and all eyes are set on March 31st against Giovanni.
Definitely, mate, and we're looking forward to seeing it. I just spoke with you about this off camera. I wanted to. I'm going to ask you this, and I'm going to ask your brother this afterwards. Obviously, Andy Clark mentioned this to Boxing News, kind of about kind of how your dad, when you were a kid, built kind of the boxing gym in your garden, and kind of, I think, am I right in saying, and kind of built up your boxing journey from there. I just thought you could kind of touch on that a little bit, if that's okay.
Yeah, so we actually originally started out with karate with our dad. He used to do karate as well. He was big into karate, and we done it when we were young, but we weren't really interested in it. There wasn't enough action in karate, so we decided to move on to boxing, and I started boxing when I was 6. But yeah, our dad then throughout the years built a gym for us just at the back of the house. So throughout all the years, he added pieces and pieces now to a fully equipped gym, and it's brilliant to have, and that we all have each other. My dad and my brothers, we all train together all throughout the years, and it has everything we need, and very thankful for that.
Definitely, kind of, how would you say, kind of, obviously having boxing in your life from such a young age has kind of prepared you for obviously the career that you guys have gone on to have now? It must have kind of put you in good stead for that.
Yeah, definitely. I knew when I was very young, boxing was the sport I always wanted to do. I did a few other sports, but once boxing got really serious, when I was like 10 or 11, when the championships, you could enter them, that's when I knew boxing was the one I wanted to do. And all I've been dreaming about since I was young was to become world champion. And I'll not let anything get in the way with that. And always remain disciplined and focused throughout my years, and still to this day.
Definitely, mate. Well, you're well on your way to achieve that as well. I have to say, obviously, last time I think I watched you box in person was a York Hall against Lima. I mean, the Mckenna kind of fandom was in full force that night. How many people do you have flying out to Japan to watch yourself?
Yeah, I think there's a few flying out. I'm not sure exactly how many, but the Irish support are unbelievable, and always very grateful. And big thanks to all the ones who come and support me. But yeah, looking forward to this tournament now, and can't wait to get over to Japan and fight there.
Definitely, I will have to say, mention as well. Obviously, we had Patrick McCrory fight last night against Edgar Berlanga, kind of, and obviously Lewis Crocker on the rise as well. Obviously, Ireland's kind of screaming out for that big kind of headline name to kind of take big nights back to Ireland. Obviously, it's kind of on the rise at the moment, but obviously, winning this tournament will kind of very much put your name out there for that kind of big headline slot.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, Ireland's looking for that next big thing to come through, and I think as well the middleweight division is wide open right now. So winning this tournament would leave a lot of doors open for massive fights in the future, and I can definitely see a good future for me.
Definitely, mate, and we look forward to seeing it. Aaron, that was my final question, mate. Have you got any final words kind of for the fans waiting to watch you in the prize fighter tournament on March 31st?
Yeah, just everyone, thanks for all the support, and make sure you tune in March 31st and watch me in action.
Perfect. Aaron, thank you very much and best of luck.
All right, thanks very much.